It's time for another Project Pan update. Who's ready? I know I am. As always, I'm late with my update because when am I not? So let's jump right in. Hi everyone, how are you guys doing today? I have an exciting video. I have a Project Pan update. It's overdue, as most things are on my channel, because I just can't seem to get my act together. I really try, I promise, I really try. And it's my first year on YouTube, and I just need to get better at scheduling, planning, and filming, and giving myself enough time to edit. Stick with me, it'll happen. And if not, we're gonna get around to it one way or another. It just might perpetually be late. With that said, if you're new, welcome. My name's Natalia, and I'm doing a year-long go-by for the entire year of 2020, and project panning is something that I've been dipping my toes into this year, and it's one of the ways that I encourage myself to use up some of the products that I already have. It also shows me how long things take to use up, which I think is one of the main goals of a project pan. So it really puts things in perspective and kind of lets me know that, well, maybe you should not be buying X, Y, and Z category for the next millennium, because it's going to take you about 50 years just to use up one product, and you have about 30 of them. So if you are also on a no buy or low buy, or just looking for some motivation to use up products you already have, trying to become more conscientious with your purchases and all that jazz, then you've come to the right place. I hope that you will consider sticking around, subscribing, and joining our Frugal family. Let's jump right into my project pan. Okay, I don't remember what order I went in last time. I should have been a good YouTuber and rewatched my second update, but it's late, and I hope you guys will forgive me if I am kind of out of order. I'm gonna try to go in the order that I apply products to my face. I do have a couple of exciting announcements. So yes, we will have some products that have either been used up or will be rotated out, and then anything new that I'm bringing into this project will be at the end of the video. So with that said, primer, because that is usually the first thing you talk about. I am still working.
Well, gee, Natalia, showing it backwards. Showing it backwards is not professional. It's not the way to go. We're gonna, as Kate the Great says, back it up, back it up, back it up, and try that again.
For primer, I am still working on my Makeup Forever Step 1.
What is this called? Step 1 skin, can't talk.
Step 1 Skin Equalizer, and this is the smoothing primer. And yes, the cute, adorable little zebra is still there, and it will be until I use this up. There I am. So I'm plowing through. Now, granted, it's now cold, and even though this is not...
What's the word I'm looking for?
It's not hydrating, is what it is. Whatever this is, it's not hydrating, and that's really what I'm reaching for more, because my skin is dry, I'm flaking everywhere. Please don't look too close. I promise you, I'm flaking everywhere. And I am mixing this a little bit in certain places, but primarily I'm using right now hydrating primers. So I hope we can get this done by the end of December.
I also hope my neighbors will finally get carpets by the end of December, although that is me using up all these products is much more likely than that.
Okay, back to the video. So yeah, I hope that I can use this up by the end of December. I am predicting that my final update is gonna come start of January, because we've just discussed that I'm perpetually late. So if I decide to film the new project that I'll be starting in 2021 prior to my update, and if this is not done, maybe it'll roll into my next project, but I haven't planned my next pan projects yet. I don't know if I'm still gonna do this team project pan, which, by the way, I always forget to mention, was started by Kat and Haley of the Beauty News.
More stomping upstairs.
This is my version of the team project pan, which was started by Kat and Haley of the Beauty News. I'm so sorry, I always forget to say that, but you usually can even see the hashtag right below the video because I do put it in. They were the original creators of this project pan, and basically the whole purpose of this is to pick one item in pretty much every category of your makeup and beauty routine and try to see how you do with that. So for primer, we're sticking with my Makeup Forever, and seeing what happens. For foundation, last time, my second update, I rolled in these two and I have used them. This one is definitely more empty than this one. This is in 201 and this is in 202, so I have a feeling I will finish this first, but whether that'll get done before the end of the year or not, I have no way of saying. This is not very see-through. I want to say I'm about here, and I guess but I don't know. I'm even trying to hold it up to my ring light, which is blinding me right over here, but I can't. And my scale, as I've mentioned before, is crap. It does not have enough decimal points or whatever to actually measure small items. So if I see that there's any change on the scale, and I've taken a picture back in August, which I think is when I did my last update, I will post on the screen any comparisons that are happening. So I don't mark things yet this year. This was my first year doing things. We're just all going off of me just showing you guys from memory or me posting pictures in this video, and I hope that you don't mind. So that was foundation. For concealer, I rolled in 2 as well, and it was my Maybelline Fit Me in 10 Light. I am estimating I'm about here. I believe I was about halfway when I started, so there is definitely some progress on this one. I am trying. I don't think these will get used up by the end of the year, but that's okay. This one was practically new, and I want to say, I'm trying again to just see, I want to say I'm about here. So like probably used just very little. These are probably products that will roll into next year, but we'll see. We'll see what I end up doing. Maybe I will put these aside and go with something completely different. I honestly have not even thought that far. For powder, I have an exciting one. I finally finished my little e.l.f. under eye powder. You can see through here, there's nothing left. There's nothing left. So this is really, really fun and exciting, and I will show you guys what I've selected to replace that at the end of the video. Then for regular powder, as you guys might remember, last time I used up my Hourglass ambient powders, and I rolled in this Physicians Formula Youth Wear. I don't know if you'll be able to see my progress. There's definitely progress. There is a dip going now, but I don't know if you'll be able to see it. I love the smell of this thing. It brings me back to my early teenage years. I wish I could pinpoint though what is this smell, but it is so good. If you guys saw my previous update, you probably remember me saying how I really didn't think I was going to like this because it just, even upon first use, did not feel anything like the Hourglass powders, and I stand by that. This is still a bit more drying, a little tiny bit more cakey, but it's not bad. It's not bad, and it's something that as I use more, I'm actually enjoying. I don't know if it's
the smell. Okay, Siren 1. Siren 1 of the night. Let's see how many we get. I've noticed lately that the sirens are like speedy. They're short. They'll make a fuss and leave. Usually they just go on for blocks and blocks and blocks, and it's as if like they make a noise and then they just time machine themselves to wherever it is they need to be. I'm not complaining.
So yeah, while this is not Hourglass, I have really actually been enjoying it a lot more than I thought I would. I have a feeling the smell has a little bit to do with that. Maybe a lot to do with that. I see myself continuing to use this until it is actually gone. It's not going to happen this year, clearly, but I am so curious just how much. I know Physicians Formula usually has an insane amount of product, so I'm just so curious. Will I be able to hit pan this year? I doubt it, but maybe. How exciting would that be? All right, bronzer. It's still kicking butt. Can we all see that? Can we admire this situation here? I am determined to use this up. I can do this. I can do this before the end of the year, even if I am using a ton of other things, because I'm trying to try different products, but every so often, like today, I am going back to this because I really want to finish an entire palette. So in case I haven't said, this is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder Palette. It had 3 shades in here: Dim Light, Incandescent Light, and Radiant Light. I used up Dim Light and Incandescent Light as powders in my previous update, but I am using this as a bronzer because I am a ghost. I'm invisible. Well, maybe not invisible, but I am pasty white. I am what Teresa's Dead calls uncooked chicken. So for somebody else, this is a powder. For me, it's a bronzer. Blush. There's a little progress, at least I can see a little progress, but I've only used it a few times. I feel like the center of the flower is rubbing off more. So I don't know if it's gotten any more flat. This side is definitely not raised at all anymore, but this side has, I think, a little bit still left. What I am, however, noticing also is that I think it is pulling away from the edges, so I guess it is drying out. I didn't realize that these blushes can do that, because in my eyes, powder products last forever. I know a lot of people would disagree with me, but that is kind of the world I live in, so we'll see. We'll see how this works. I'm pretty much convinced at this point that I will never hit pan on a blush. I will never use up a blush. And the fact that I have way too many, as you can see by a video I will link right here, which is my makeup collection of all my blushes. It is embarrassing how many I have, considering that I suck at panning even one in an entire year. So yeah, that blush is gonna stay, not just this year, but probably next year and the year after, and who knows. Highlighter, if you guys remember, I was very excited to hit pan on last time, and now we have expanded that pan quite a bit, at least for me. And at this point, because this is a bit too dark for me, except during the summer, I'm gonna roll this out. In this project pan, we are allowed to roll things out if we just feel they're no longer appropriate for the season or whatever our reasoning might be. So I think it's time. I've hit pan on it. I never in my intro specified whether this goal was going to be just to hit pan or to actually use up the entire highlighter. Considering how hard it is to use up an entire highlighter, I think hitting pan and then expanding on it to the extent that I did is actually a great accomplishment, and I'm going to relish in that moment, roll it out, and bring in something else that I have a higher chance of using because of the weather, because of the fact that my non-existent tan is completely gone. For eyeshadow primer, I am still working on my Marc Jacobs Undercover, but I finally gotten rid of the part of the air bubble. I feel like there's still a lot of air bubble in here, so that means I have even less product. Eyeshadow primers last a long time. Last time I mentioned to you guys that this was starting to separate on me, and I would shake it up for a few weeks after that, after every use, and then at some point it just stopped separating. So I don't know, maybe it was the summer heat, and maybe now it's doing better because the weather has cooled off. I'm not having too many issues, so that's amazing. And of course, we're just gonna keep using it. I really was hoping that I would be able to use up an eyeshadow primer in a year, but now I'm realizing I don't think that's gonna happen, which again, this is why I'm doing this. This really puts things in perspective. I probably, with the amount of eyeshadow primers I have, I think I have like 3 or 4 others. I don't need one for more than 3 or 4 years if this is the rate that I'm going to be moving. So there's that. Since we're on eyes, okay, here's another one. It's not very exciting. I mean, I did use it. This is the Sephora eyeliner. This is the contour eye pencil in Black Lace. I definitely have used it, but you guys can probably see it's just separated so much more and dried out so much more over the course of this year that unfortunately I think it's time for me to throw this away. So even though I didn't actually use it up, I'm going to have to roll this out and call quits on this, just because last couple of times I tried to use this, it was tuggy, it was scratchy, it doesn't sharpen well anymore, and I can feel the pencil rattling when I do this. Can you hear it? That's not good. It's time. It's just time to throw it away. And I'm going to probably film an eyeliner and mascara or some sort of like eye products that are not directly eyeshadow video when I do the continuation of my collection series. And I have a feeling I have quite a few eyeliners that are in this state, unfortunately, because I haven't bought eyeliners in years. some of my eyeliners are years old. So that's actually something I think for 2021 that I need to consider. I think I need to update my eyeliner collection, get rid of old ones, and see what colors I want to experiment with, and maybe get like some sort of a bundle with a bunch of different colors to try. So if you have recommendations for preferably affordable and great eyeliners, I was definitely eyeing the Raw Beauty Christie eyeliners from ColourPop because I adore Christie and I adore that whole collection. If I wasn't on Undereye, I probably would have somehow convinced myself to buy the eyeshadow palette and those liners. I loved that yellow and green, and I have a feeling I would have loved those colors. So if that collection is still available in 2021, even if I manage to be good and figure out a way to definitely talk myself out of that eyeshadow palette, I might go for the liners. And if you have other ColourPop colors and suggestions, or you know of other brands that are maybe comparable in price, give or take, and even better, or or if you want to talk me out of the ColourPop ones because you've had bad experiences with them, I want to hear all about it, because right now eyeliners are definitely on the list for some products I would like to update and replace in my makeup stash. As always, tangent, diversion, it wouldn't be Natalia if that didn't happen. So let's get back to where we were. Let's do mascara. I brought in last time the Milk Kush, and while I am enjoying it, it's almost done, and the problem is this specific brush, I don't know if it's because it is quite chubby, it doesn't quite work on my eye shape and my lashes, because my eyes have this thing where the eyelashes grow out like this, but my eyelid has a little bit of like a crease or fold right above my eyelashes. So whenever I try to apply this mascara from the base, I manage to smear the mascara all over the entire front of my eyelid, and then I end up having to wait for it to dry, go in and try to clean it up, because this entire front part ends up black and covered in mascara. And not every mascara does this to me, but several do, and this is definitely one of them. And while I like the mascara without fail 90% of the time, like 9 out of 10 times that I use it, if I actually try to apply from the base of the lashes, which in general I noticed I have a hard time doing because of this issue, but especially with this one, guaranteed to smear all of my eyelids. If you guys have this problem, can you let me know? Does this just mean that I need to be really careful and only apply mascara to like the top 2/3 or 3/4 of my eyelashes, and I can't actually get into the base like most of the time people do, because of course that does create more volume and that does make our eyelashes look more intense, which I love, but then I end up having such a mess. So I think I'm gonna call it quits on the Milk Kush. Let's talk about eyeshadow. As you guys know, if you've been following, I'm trying to pan my Lorac Pro Matte. I know they've just revamped their entire line. All of this packaging is gone. It's been popping up in TJ Maxx and Marshalls. The Pro palettes, those really big ones, have been coming into TJ Maxx and Marshalls. The regular Lorac Pro palettes as well, but I still love them. I still have them, and I will still continue to use them. So I can't report too much progress. I've been trying to use a bunch of other eyeshadow palettes, and honestly at this point I know I should probably like buckle down, speed up, and try to see how much progress I can make on this eyeshadow palette. I don't know if I'll get rid of it after this year. I said I would, as long as these 6 shades are done. Clearly I haven't even hit pan on this one. I'm trying to continue to expand pan on these 2. This is one of those palettes that just might stick around as a nice companion palette. We'll see. I might give it a push and try to really expand pan on this, because this is a shade I could use to just set everything down or clean up the brow bone, because it is like it's not a white, it's called linen. It's not stark white, but it is very light even for my skin tone. Today I have a little bit of burgundy in my outer corner, so I'm trying once in a while to give this some love, but it's tough when you have a gajillion eyeshadow. So I'm doing my best, and I'm just glad I'm getting at least some use out of it, which is all I can really ask. Brows, I'm still continuing to use Benefit Give Me Brow. If you guys have never seen it, it has this little wand. It gets a little goopy, so I end up having to like clean it, but I'm still using it. It's still going strong. So on to lips. Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Lip Cheat, still going. still using it. Still using it. It's on me today. I love it and I will continue to love it, and I'm continuing to use it. It's starting to dry out a little, so I'm really happy that I'm continuing to use it because this little thing is expensive. The other product I have on me today is this Bite Beauty, the matte cream lip crayons. And this one is in Pastille. They no longer make this. They've reformulated. They went vegan. I am so close. I have used it a couple of times, maybe 2 or 3 times since my last update. It's not one I have a pull to reach for, and I think I mentioned to you guys in my last update, part of that was because this color was definitely more fall winter for me than spring summer. So now that it's fall winter, I am trying my best to remember to use it, and I'm really hoping, really hoping to use it up by the end of this year. Now here's a kicker. I cannot find my Sephora lip stain, my cream lip stain in 01, True Red, Always Red, whatever the shade name is, like my favorite red of all time. I haven't really used it because, as I've mentioned before, I usually only use it on stage. I'm a concert pianist. There have been no concerts. I haven't been on stage, but I have no idea where it went. So I'm gonna have to scour my apartment, the floor, my handbags, whatever else, and see if I can locate it, because I'm really sad that I can't find it, even though I haven't really been wearing it. I still want it back. So I can't update you guys on that, except for the fact that I maybe used it once and then lost it. So there's that. Oh, and then of course for setting spray, I'm still working on this Project Beauty Spray Set and Go, but I'm getting close. I'm getting close. I can't remember exactly where I was last time. I want to say about there. So I'm really hopeful that this is going to be done in 2020. Now we're getting into skincare, body care, and all that jazz. For skincare, I had pulled in this Ole Henriksen Nurture Me Soothing Cream Cushion Skin with Nourishing Vitamins. If you are curious, there's a whole story behind the scent. I still smell it. And yes, it is gone. I've used up this moisturizer. I enjoyed it. It was okay. The smell after a while got to be too much on my skin, even though it was very nostalgic. And if you want to hear the story about that and my childhood in the Soviet Union, you can go ahead and check out my last Pan Project update. But this is totally gone, so we will have to be rolling in a new skincare product. For body care, I've been using this Skin Fix Resurface Plus Glycolic Renewing Scrub. This is something you apply on your dry skin as you get into the shower, and I've been using it less and less because of that, because it's cold and I don't want to just be standing there surrounded by my cold shower. I want the warm, hot, steamy water on me. But I still managed to use this quite a few times, and I'm down to about here. So we'll see. I really need to force myself at this point to use this, but it is possible for me to use this up if I commit to it. You apply this very gritty product to your dry skin, and then you wash it off, and your body feels like a newborn's butt. It's so smooth afterwards. And then for hair care, I put in this Color Therapy Lock and Protect Leave-In treatment from BioSilk, and it was pretty much brand new, and I'm down to about here. So I've used up maybe about an inch worth of product, maybe not even. I don't wash my hair very often. I am not loving this product. I think I will continue to use it through the end of December, see how it goes, see how much progress I make. I have a feeling, you know, at most I will get down to this rounded part. And honestly, guys, after that, I might declutter it because it smells a little, I don't know if it was supposed to have a scent, but I don't know. Maybe I just don't like the scent, but I've tried other BioSilk products before and I've loved the scent. So I don't know if this thing is just old. I got this years ago in a subscription box. I don't know what the deal with it is. I don't see it doing anything for my hair, although right now it is impossible to tell because my hair is so damaged and hasn't been cut in a year, and I really need a haircut. But yeah, I hope I haven't forgotten anything. That is it for the updates. Let's get into some products that I'm rolling in. For powder to replace the e.l.f., since I've really loved the Ilia mascara earlier this year, I decided I really want to see how much of this Fade Into You Soft Focus Finishing Powder I can use. I have about that much Like you can kind of see across, I think, because I have used this last year a lot. This was a powder I used a ton in 2019, and from what I remember, I really enjoyed it. So I don't have too much product left. I doubt I'll be able to use it up this year because I also don't use a lot of powder since I am so dry. But I wanted to bring in something that was at least semi-realistic. So I chose a powder that I know is really finely milled, really light on my skin, hopefully will do well in these dry weather conditions, and something that I don't have that much product, so I can at least set some realistic goals for myself. So for highlight, I decided that since we are in the throes of winter, I would go with a creamy situation, like a, what is this, a cream highlight, a liquid highlight. This is the BECCA Shimmering Skin Perfector Spotlight in Pearl, and this maybe I could put under my foundation. Let me give you guys a little swatch. I don't know, can you see that? So I figured I'll give this a try. I know like cream products are all the rage, and I haven't really been able to participate all that much because I have very few in my collection, and clearly I haven't been buying anything all year. So for eyeliner, I am going with the Clinique Quick Liner for Eyes Intense. This is one of the newest ones I own. I don't want to push it up because it does not push back down, but it's very black and goes on super creamy, which will be a nice change from this scratchy situation that I've had to deal with. For mascara, I actually decided to pull in not a mascara, but the mascara base, the primer, whatever these are called, these Sills boosters. I have two of these from Lancome. I am not really into these sort of products, but since I have two of them, I figured I need to somehow motivate myself to try them out more, use them up, or decide I'm really done and declutter them, because all the ones I've tried, and I've only tried a few, but all the ones I've tried, I've never really been into it. So I think I really need to see, like, is this gonna ever stick, or am I just not gonna be that gal? And then last but not least, we are pulling in a skincare product instead of this moisturizer that I finished up, and this is going to be the Herbivore Prism. This is the natural fruit acid 5% exfoliating glow potion. This is, I'm guessing, like a mini size, a sample size. I don't remember where I got this. Probably also like a subscription box or something. It is practically full, as you guys can see. I've only used it a few times, but I have so much open skincare that I'm almost tempted to do a December only skincare focused project pan and pull out a bunch of products that are close to being used that I can really motivate myself to use up prior to the end of 2020. So with that, we are practically done here. I just want to go over one more time what I've used up so that you guys get an idea of the tally. So fully used up, e.l.f. Undereye powder and the moisturizer. Products I am rolling out, the Sonia Kashuk, I don't even know if I said that the first time I talked about this, but the Pretty Cheeky face palette, that highlight is being rolled out. I'm also rolling out and throwing away the Sephora eyeliner because it has dried up, and I'm also rolling out and throwing away the Milk Kush mascara because it's just transferring all over my upper eyelids. I hope you guys liked this update. I'm pretty proud of myself. I didn't finish up like any huge heavy hitters, but I used up 2 products completely. I'm rolling out 3. I have a few goals for the next time around, so I would really like to use up the setting spray. I would really like to try my best to use up this body scrub. Maybe one of these foundations will go, most likely that shade in 201. We will see. Really would love to try to figure out a way to use up this primer, even though it's not perfect for this season for me. And then, you know, other things I just want to make progress on. See if I can hit pan on the powder. See if I can hit pan on this pink mauve shade and expand pan on the other ones. And of course, I want to use up this bronzer. Well, this powder that I use as a bronzer, but I think that's also realistic. I would love to know what you thought of my project pan. I would love to know if you do a project pan, and if you're a creator, please let me know. I really want to go check out your videos. And if you're not on YouTube or on Instagram panning and you're just doing it for yourself together with us, which I know I used to do before I came on YouTube, please let me know what products are you using, how are you doing, how many have you used up this year. I would love to interact down below with you guys and hear all about it. And aside from that, just one more reminder to please hit that like button and consider subscribing. I thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you're doing really, really well. I hope that you are continuing to stay safe, and please take every precaution possible to continue to stay safe. I know that it's been a really rough year, and it doesn't seem to really be letting go this COVID thing anytime soon. So please, please, please stay vigilant, wear your masks, do whatever it is you have to, take care of yourself and those around you. And I cannot wait to see you in my next video. Bye.